Anyway, there's this, like, weird thing, you know, about, how do I describe this? There's this thing with empathy where you start to kind of notice that your emotions are literally not yours, you know, they're actually someone else's. And I know some people make this, of course, about themselves, like, oh, you don't feel other people's emotions, but it's like, hear me out. You can actually make it about the other person without falling into the whole codependency of trying to help someone, you know, without that stuff, of, like, using yourself, getting used, no. But, like, hear me out. I have this all the time, especially if I have some sort of angry emotion, right, about someone, I can very much realize that either they're having that about me, like, how do I describe this, like, empathy? It shows, like, so for instance, let's say I hate someone, I think they're really annoying. It's like, yeah, but that says something about me that I'm not facing. Like, if I'm judging something in someone, it means I'm not facing something that they are looking at, right? And so that's kind of like, I guess, maybe the other side of empathy. Most people talk about the nice side of empathy, you know? They'll talk about, you know, like, being able to experience other people's emotions and being able to help them. And I talk about this. I'm like, it's a nice thing. I try and enjoy my, empathy. But there's a side of empathy that is actually me judging someone and going, oh, they look how fucking ridiculous they look. But then luckily, after judging, I have the self-awareness to analyze, wait, why am I judging them? Wait, why am I thinking that they fucking stupid? And then I question myself. But that does mean, though, that for a second, I mean, it's only for a second, by the way, before I instantly notice this is either projection or, like, I'm judging someone else. But, like, how do I describe this? I'm like, yeah, but what if... Okay, I've got two emotions here, because a lot of the time, again, sometimes if I have a thought about someone else, they haven't known about me. So, like, if I judge someone, it means they're judging me. But then sometimes I'm like, yeah, but if that only happens, though, if I'm not facing what I'm judging in them. Do you get what I'm saying? Firstly, it begins... Okay, let me say this in order. I don't actually know where it begins, but let me just say it in an order. Okay, in my perspective, it begins as, I judge someone else. I go, what the fuck are they doing? Idiotic. And then I go, wait, no, that means I'm not facing something in myself. I must be idiotic. But then I go, yeah, but they're judging me and calling me idiotic. Wait, actually, sorry. Let me say that in a different order. Okay, I judge someone else. I go, well, they look fucking stupid. What are you doing? Like, what is that? What are they doing? This can't be a joke. This has got to be fucking rude. And then I go, oh, but they're judging me. They're thinking I'm the one telling a joke that's fucking rude and then I'm not saying the right thing. But then I'm like, yeah, but the only reason why they see that in me is because I'm not facing it in myself. And the only reason why I'm not judging them is because I'm not facing it in myself. Oh my god, that was me trying to say it without it making it confusing, but to be honest, this is confusing. So, okay, but I guess obviously I can talk about all three of those separately. Okay, so to judge someone else is to realize that I'm judging that in myself. If I face this in myself, though, because that's the thing that's missing. Oh, I would say that in a second. Okay, so what's the thing that's missing is what am I judging in myself? Here's where it gets confusing. I'm like, yeah, but what if I'm not doing that? What if I'm literally just judging someone else because they kind of are doing something stupid? So, for instance, let's say someone's, like, says something fucking rude, like something, I'm picturing, like, sexism and, like, homophobia, like, fucking rude shit, you know? I actually do judge this in people, because, like, come on, if you're being fucking rude, I do judge this, even if it means that they're, I guess, struggling. Some people pay out someone else if they're struggling. It's, like, dead inside, or it's, like, how do I describe it? It's either dead inside, or it's, like, how do I describe this? It's, like, dead inside, or it's... Oh, yeah, some people just, like, hate on stuff, you know, because they feel bad about themselves, and then they start becoming a bad person, you know, whatever. Like, how do I describe this? Because, again, if I'm in the wrong, It's so hard. I'm like, okay, so there's a case where I'm not in the wrong. Someone else sucks. They say something fucking stupid. They fucking hate themselves. I'm just like, whoa, okay, you're homophobic because you hate yourself. It really does become that. I know some people have, I know these kinds of things I know it's probably a bad example because to be honest, that can be quite complicated. But like, you know what I mean? If someone's like hating on something or says something fucking gross or something dead inside because they just don't care. Again, I just don't get it when people just say they just don't care. Or they want to say something as being, I don't get it. And people start chucking things away and not caring about things. I guess maybe it matters more if I'm subtle. Okay, so I'm starting to like feel something else now. Now I'm gonna change the subject. It's only been 5 minutes. I'm feeling something really confusing right now. Again, are they just judging me? Again, I didn't realize how much this was gonna be about emotions. Okay, this is for people who, yeah, just dealing with processing things, I guess. What could they possibly be judging me for? Just the way that I am? Maybe I really am switching between masculine and feminine energy, and it's very confusing because socially, by the way, masculinity, you know, it can be quite. The social teas can be quite about like being subtle, right? Like masculine, you know, it's about like doing the right thing, you know. Actions speak louder than words, you know. But with feminine energy, it's more just about doing whatever you want. It can almost be quite. You can even be quite like even sensual. I know these things get very over sexualized, but I'm not, and I want to make this very clear that I'm talking about femininity, not girls. You know, don't sexualize it. You know, but either way, when it comes to femininity, yes, there is a side of it that's sexual. Same goes with masculinity, though. You know what I mean? It goes both ways. You know, just in a different way. Anyway, but you know, femininity, it can allude to sexual things. But like some people just fucking hate certain people's sexuality. And I'm like, firstly, what if it's sensuality? I live in fear of what people think of me. What could they possibly be thinking? I guess maybe I'm not supposed to. This is like a life lesson. Maybe I'm just like not supposed to care at all about how people view me. But like, what? I've literally had some of the grossest things said about me. And I'm literally just like, what could you possibly be thinking? Why are they so gross? Like, so gross. And they want to say that I'm gross. I'm like, no, no, you're gross for thinking that about me. Well, maybe they really do just fucking hate me. I'm like, what could you hate me for? I'm like, well, maybe there is something awkward about me switching between feminine and masculine energy. Because, you know, feminine, it's very, you literally post, you know, things. It's very like, you know, you'll post a picture of yourself looking good. It's very show off, you know. Masculine is very subtle. Maybe they are just really fucking rude about me. Maybe I just need to face how fucking rude people are about me. Like I never would have thought that people could be so rude. How strange. Like, literally, what I'm experiencing right now is people being so rude about me. And I'm like, well, maybe I deserve it? You know. I just can't fathom how badly I'm being, like, perceived. And I've always had this, like, thought, you know, because sometimes I have a fear, by the way, of, like, coming off a certain way. I can have self-awareness, you know. But, like, sometimes I'm like, yeah, but why are people thinking that about me? Okay, so basically, you know, I definitely, by the way, if you want to know, like, okay, so basically, I have, by the way, thought about this, by the way, like, who I am in relation to my existence, you know, if I don't have a job, if I don't do much. I have, by the way, judged myself, by the way, for being spiritual and not having a job, you know. I'm like, maybe I'm getting judged for such behavior. It's almost like immaturity, you know. And I think about this, by the way, like me avoiding a spiritual path of just facing my issues and stuff. But I'm not kidding when I say I've had a lot of problems with trying to face things because of just being autistic and not being able to fucking do things properly and getting stressed. So I am on both sides of like, oh, I should be doing this, but I also understand why I haven't gone around to doing things. And I've also tried to get help, but then, you know, it struggles, you know, people don't always help. But like, hear me out. Being judged, you know, people are allowed to judge even. I'm literally like, yeah, people can judge me and be like, you're a mess, you know. But like, some people are literally making shit up about me, and I'm like, that's where I draw the line. It's too fucked up. I don't know how to deal with it. It feels almost like way too fucked up. Like, I'm literally like, what are you guys saying about me? Like, it's like they want to make me out to be retarded or something. And I'm just like, how could someone say that about me? Like, what does that say? I guess maybe I can just leave losers alone, but I'm like, no, you don't get it. Because again, I take criticism, you know, but I'm like, this is another level of rude. What do I do with that? Like, what do I do with like another level of rude? Of like, that's disgusting. How could you say that to me? Like, that is like disgusting. Like, I'm like, well, maybe I am weird, but like, how fucking weird did they think I am? Like, I'm like kind of just having a vibe, and maybe I really do come off as like a complete weirdo or something. I'm like, well, fair. Maybe it's fair, but I'm like, yeah, but no, it's not. You're judging the living fuck out of me. But I'm like, what does that mean though? Like, what do I do with that? I'm like confused right now. I'm like hurt. Which again, I didn't realize how much this would be about like emotions. This is personally probably personal to post. Don't really get as many views, but you know, it is quite personal, I guess. But I'm just like, what am I witnessing? People thinking I'm like crazy. Like, people think I'm fucking crazy, and I'm like, I'm just kind of a bit struggling with a few things. I'm not crazy. Like, maybe they want me, maybe they just want to tell jokes about me, but I'm like, yeah, but that's a kind of a fucked up joke to tell. I'm like, well, maybe they are just making jokes about me. Yeah, but the jokes are so fucked up that I'm like, that's not really a joke. That means you fucking hate someone. That means you fucking hate someone. It means you fucking hate them. If you're being that fucking rude. So maybe it is a joke, but it still means you hate me. Which is why I'm gonna feel a certain way about it, because I'm like, well, that means hatred. Genuine hatred for me. Just because I'm a little weird. And then they want to make me out to be way weirder than I am. And I'm like, guys, that's just made up. How could you say that about someone? It's just so rude. I don't get it. Maybe I am weird, but like, what the fuck do they think I am? What the fuck do they think? What are they thinking? Maybe again, back to what I was saying about the whole it being masculine and feminine energy switching between the two. Okay, there's this weird thing that happens, by the way, when like a man is feminine. It can come off as way more sexual because it's a man. This is like a thing that happens, you know, a man does something and it means something different because a man's doing it. And this is where you get the whole people might even not liking men being feminine, you know. Or maybe even disliking it, or this is where you get homophobia, you know. But it's like, it's literally just because it doesn't mean what you think it does. It's literally just the shadow on man, you know. But either way, though, it's like, yeah, but there is a time where I'm like, well, I do sometimes side with people who kind of pay it out, because I'm like, well, maybe it does mean something different when a man does something feminine. Maybe it actually does mean a different thing. So, like, for instance, socially, it might be awkward, because it might literally mean a different thing. But I'm just like, well, I don't fucking see it like that. But either way, I guess some people are fair if they want to look at it like that, or say that it's making it awkward for them. You can make something awkward for someone. You can be awkward. But I'm just like, what? How could they look at it like that? But I'm like, well, again, though, but I'm like, literally, like, something could literally come off as way more sexual than it actually does, just because a man's doing it. Yeah, so, That's why I kind of like go, well, maybe people are allowed to see things as weird. But I'm like, not if someone's judging the living shit out of me. But I'm like, maybe people really are judging the living fuck out of me and it's not really funny anymore. I literally just thought people were literally just making judgments and being like, well, what are you doing, you know? Pay me up for not having a job. And now I'm like, well, this is another level of rude. Just because I'm in feminine energy, yeah, maybe that is indulgent to be in feminine energy. Maybe that's awkward. I'm not kidding when I say, yeah, I'm not very dedicated to being a trans man. I, if anything, am leaning towards being non-binary at this point because I'm like, maybe that socially makes it make more sense to people. I'm like willing to be like, well, fine then. Maybe I am a bit in between because I'm like, I do be dedicating a lot of my life to femininity. So it's like, well, there you go. But I'm not kidding when I say there's a reason why I'm like, no, man. Maybe people just hate the way I am. Maybe there's just something really weird about being old-fashioned. Maybe there's like a gross. People just look at it as gross. Maybe I'm just not who people want me to be. But I'm just like, yeah, but I am doing whatever I want. And I just know when I'm doing what I want. I just know. Yeah, maybe I just really need to face how badly I'm being judged. I've always looked at it as, yeah, like, constructive criticism. Like, even if someone, like, fucking says something really rude, I'm always like, you know what? Even people being rude, I never say it to them, but in my mind, I always take people's opinions into counter. Because, I mean, think about it. If someone feels passionate about something, you know, it might come out as, like, hatred, you know? So I'm like, you know what? Sometimes, or even if someone's being hateful, I can still tell that there's something in it. So that's why I always take criticism into counter. Like, even right now, I'm willing to take these judgments into counter and be like, you know what? Maybe I am coming off like a fucking crazy person. Maybe it is socially fucking weird, but I'm just like, I don't think it is. I think I have to still consider it, but like, do you get what I mean? I'm literally like, I'm not mad. I'm not. I'm just not. But I guess maybe I really am coming off like a fucking mad person. I'm like, yeah, but what if I'm being judged? But yeah, basically, people just judge me basically thinking that I'm way more sexual than I am. And I'm just like, I'm just horny sometimes, or sometimes it's just sexual energy. It's not even sex. So it's like sensual, I guess. I don't know the word for it, but it's like a sexual energy. It's just the energy, but people are judging it and thinking I'm over-sexualized. And I'm like, you know what, fair, maybe I do fucking come off as over-sexualized and weird. I just don't get it, because I'm like, well, no, they're over-sexualized and weird if they're thinking me that way. Do you get what I mean? And I'm like, no, it's just the simple thing of, oh, that's projection. How boring. It's just like that over and over. Oh, that's projection. Oh, that's also projection. Ugh, but I don't want to just say that. Oh, it's projection. That's like, it's just such a boring argument, even if it's true. And I'm just like, what am I facing right now? Like, am I facing that I'm wrong, or am I facing that I'm right? Am I facing a misconception? Or am I facing a really good criticism? Or am I facing, like, I can't tell, am I wrong or am I right? Anyway, this is what this is about. Like, please tell me. Am I right or am I wrong? Like, I just need someone in the comments to tell me. Like, what would you say? You can go on my Instagram, by the way, if you want to judge it. My 42 lexicon one. Judge me, you know, my few posts, my few latest posts. Just like, by the way, my Instagram is in my description. Just, like, check my description. Anyway. Either on my account or in this video. And just, like, tell me, do you think I'm crazy? Or do you think, that I'm being judged? Literally just tell me. I don't care what you say, because if it's just a random online, I don't mind. I literally just need feedback, because I'm genuinely so confused. Or maybe I already know. I need someone to tell me.